to do it a lot today at school. So I can't raise it here because I'm gonna have to raise it again tomorrow. So I really wanted to stream still because this topic was really interesting and there's a ton of videos and I literally feel fine. I figured out everyone on the internet was telling me I have COVID. Thank you so much for your concern. We do not believe it is COVID. We put mobile AC units in my school because our AC is out, and I stood in front of it for like 8 hours because the cold air felt really good, and I'm now realizing it just goes into the ceiling. So I think I was just breathing in asbestos ceiling tiles that whole day because literally nothing else is wrong except this. So I have my tea and we're gonna whisper. But just know, I really wish I could bring a lot more energy to the studio. Let me know. I've literally been here for 2 seconds. Don't worry if it didn't notify you. Let me know if you can hear me okay, because I can use the microphone, but then I'm just gonna have to switch it for the videos, so it's gonna be a little annoying. But let me know if you can hear me okay. And like I said, I'm excited to be here. Pipeline completed. I love that for us. Couple of quick housekeeping updates. One, next week, also, this is my mug of Britney Spears. Perfect. Next week, we're going to be talking about Vicki Gunvalson. If you don't know who Vicki Gunvalson is, she is from the Real Housewives of Orange County, and she is critically important to me emotionally and spiritually. And I think she is my mother in another timeline, meaning that her and my mother are very similar people. Not that like, oh, she's supposed to be my mother. Like, no, that's copy paste. That is copy and pasted my mother. So if you're like not into Real Housewives, yeah, we're having an ASMR live stream. Let me know if you like this. Maybe this will be my niche. So even if you're not even if you're not a Real Housewives fan, you'll love the stream. She's literally crazy. Her relationships have been crazy. She's been married a bunch of times. It's really quite the time. So that was housekeeping thing number one. Housekeeping thing number two, Dr. Sofyan, the fundraising has been going really, really, really slow, which is partially my fault because I haven't been talking about it enough. But I did get the news today. He does have access to a PayPal, so I put that in my link tree because I know a lot of you guys can't do GoFundMe, and you will be glad to know that the $13,000 we already raised on GoFundMe has already been cashed out and has already been put towards the evacuation of his family members. I didn't want to ask, like, how are you prioritizing it? Who's going to evacuate for? I just felt like that was really invasive and rude. So I don't know, because he has multiple children. But just so you know, it is going to the company that's doing the evacuation, and like they sent me pictures of the cash, they sent me the bank records. I'm not going to post them obviously, but just so you know, like very, 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 hope the water didn't get taken out by our very, very vetted in terms of where the money is going. Because I know it's like kind of sus that it's a GoFundMe and a PayPal, but it's going to the same place, I promise. And it's set up by two different names because the GoFundMe was set up by a friend of his, and then the PayPal is another friend of his. He has a lot of international friends because he's a medical doctor and has like traveled for medical things. So that's why it's multiple people involved, but I've been talking to them too. Like, honestly, we should make a group chat. Let's get those donations up. Exactly. So let's go ahead and get into it. Today we're talking about the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders. Lots of videos tonight. Trigger warning, like if you struggle with disordered eating or eating disorder behavior, things like that, maybe this is like not the stream for you, because we are gonna like watch them rip these women apart in the most just like offensive way one could possibly imagine. Well, not the most offensive way possibly, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I'm making a jacket. I got my fidget. I'm so ready to be locked in. So anyway, oh, I should have done my screen differently. Give me 1 second. Pause. Cool. Okay, I wanted to be able to see all the chats at the same time. Now we're rocking and rolling. And if I start yelling literally in the chat, be like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Because I could speak at a normal volume and it wouldn't hurt. But after like 30 minutes, my voice is gone after that. So yell at me. Oh, the Nearpod chat. Oh, for those of you who are whispering because my throat is sore because I breathed in asbestos ceiling tiles from the 1980s. There's the Nearpod link if any of you want it. I know with my new little background you can't see it anymore, but this like, so I feel like the background is so fucking cute, so I don't want to ruin it with the little Nearpod symbol. You know what I mean? No offense, Nearpod. I know you give me this account for free, but anyway, what? Live, laugh, asbestos. Your voice being gone in the first week of school is so on brand. So it started being gone on Friday. And then it kind of got better, and then it got worse today because I had to yell at them. Well, I didn't yell at them, but I was like, guys. You know what I mean? Okay, I watched American Sweethearts, so I did my homework. I haven't seen American Sweethearts. I really need to get in there, but we're going to watch some clips from their old show, and I think there's some from their new show too. So, America's Sweethearts, perfect intro. Can I just say, is the outfit sexist? Yes. Do I love the outfit? Yes. Like, something can be sexist and fashionable. I don't think we need to separate those two things. So, the history of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. During a game between the Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons at the Cotton Bowl, I don't like the name the Cotton Bowl. Don't like that. Don't like that. I don't know anything about football, but I don't like that. During the 1967 season, a well endowed stripper named Bubbles Cash, can I just say, Bubbles Cash is an incredible name. What is happening to my phone? Oh, it's the Ring camera. Sorry. My boyfriend is like gardening and stuff like that, so I keep seeing the Ring camera notifications. Their old show is so unhinged. They also have a Sugar Bowl. Sugar Bowl is less annoying to me. Cotton just has like a lot of historical significance, and I'm like, I guess sugar does too. Not as much in the US, but globally. So anyway, a stripper named Bubbles Cash caused a tremendous stir in the crowd when she walked down the staircase on the 50-yard line carrying cotton candy in each hand, and she became an instant public sensation in Dallas and also gained attention from the Cowboys' general manager, Tex Sklarm. Why is that his name? Why is that his name? I'm sorry. Why is your name Tex Sklarm? Of course, the Cowboys general manager is Tex Sklarm. No, I'm just whispering. Let me know if you can hear me. I can switch to the other mic if you want. But yeah, no, we're just being quiet today. So, understanding the importance of the entertainment industry, the Cowboys' profitability, Squam was inspired to form a cheerleading squad dressed in a similar fashion to Cash. This is one thing. Oh, something is clicking? Is it that? Is that what you're talking about? Okay. I think I can hear you with my Bluetooth all the way up. No, not the mouse. It sounds like a lawnmower. What the fuck? Here, I'll try and switch to the other mic. Let's see how that goes. Digital pulsing sound. Are you not plugged in? Uno momento. Okay. It stopped. It stopped. It's good now. It's good. We're all good. Good, because this one's not working. No, it's back. Okay. What about this microphone? Is this one better? Actually, I think I know what would be the best option. Able to hear the videos. I'm using my phone as a microphone. I don't know how the fuck that's working, and this microphone's about to fall. So much is happening. Okay. We're good. We are good. You're not falling. You're fine. You're fine. Okay. Well, I don't want to use the ASMR mic because then you guys won't be able to hear the videos. But with this way, you'll be able to hear the videos too. Get the makeup fresh out. So anyway, as I was saying, I hate how I hate, okay, let me rephrase. Every fashion trend, dance trend, whatever, so much of it comes from sex workers and strippers, and I hate that they never get credit for it. Because, like, this woman literally just being a bad bitch is why we have the Dallas Cowboys based in cheer. Not the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboy cheer. So, this is the outfit that caused the tremendous stir. No, it's fucking up now. Awesome. I love my life. Absolutely incredible. Okay. We're going back to the ASMR mic. Yeah, we're not going to use the phone. I don't like that. I have no idea if you just heard that, but literally everything fell. Okay. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if the mic is okay. I don't want to move it, but I kind of want to show you guys. I can't believe my fucking favorite mug just broke. I'm literally so mad about that. And that's the second time I've had a favorite mic or a favorite mug break the second week of school. And that's just really, really upsetting to me. And I'm mad about the mug, and I'm not over the mug. Never going to be over the mug. Let me show you the mug. As a matter of fact, and let me just show you what I did. This is going to be an inspiration to why you never back down and you never give up. So I had my mic on like an arm so that I could move it back and forth, and it literally just like completely catastrophed everywhere. So I was like, fuck this fucking arm. So I just unscrewed the mic from the arm and put it into a cup. Yes, the mug did break. If it's just the handle, we can fix it, but the handle's in like a million pieces. Whatever. I guess some people don't deserve to have nice things. But anyway, we're back now. We're good. We're fine. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Oh, use it as a pencil holder. That's a great idea. Thank you. That was stressful. And can I just say, going back to school has been kicking my ass. I got my period. My fucking voice is like disappearing. There's just a lot going on. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear the videos. If not, we might have to reschedule this because this is just like a lot going on right now. So anyway, for those of you watching on YouTube, when I clip this together, that was just like a time. What the fuck is going on? And I lost my tea. Kind of fucking needed that. But anyway, at least I have water. I've needed to get the desk stand because the problem is my desk, the edges don't go far enough out for the mic stand to really get in there. So I don't know. I used to work at a grocery store, and one time I dropped an entire case of wine off the shelf. Real. Okay. There's like 6 bottles of red wine on the floor. So, oh my God, that's a great idea. He's on the phone. I don't know if it's important. I'll wait till he's off the phone. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh, okay. So the fact that this outfit caused a tremendous stir, I think just goes to show how much fashion has changed since this time, and like what's considered normal and acceptable to be in public is just so different. So this is fucking disgusting. In the early 1970s, local high school cheerleaders and drill team captains were selected to be the squad. I'm gonna be short today so that I'm like level with the mic. Why is something that was modeled after a stripper, why are you recruiting minors? That's just a quick question I have. Just one quick thing that I'm wondering about is like, why are there minors in the room? So in 1972, a New York choreographer, Texie Waterman, these are literally the most Texas names. Even though she's from New York, she's Texas. Like, she is literally Texas. Also, speaking of fucked up shit that happened today, I found a bug in my chair right before I started streaming, and it was laying on its back, and it's a bug that I've never seen in my life. I was like, how the fuck did you get in here? You must be lost. Texie Waterman was recruited and assigned to auditioning and training a new female squad who would all be over the age of 18. I'm glad the high schooler shit only lasted 2 years. I don't know if Texie is a woman, but I'm glad that she came in and was like 18-year-olds. That's literally the bare minimum we could do. They would be searching for attractive appearance, athletic ability, and raw talent as performers, and this is the beginning of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders that we know today. What do you mean, goodbye screen? Did it leave? Mercury in retrograde for 400, anyone? No, literally Mercury in retrograde. So, what's happening to you all? Is there something wrong? Let me know if something is wrong. So, along with the change to adult athletes, the uniform was changed to a more revealing outfit, and being the change from a traditional cheerleader skirt to hot pants, aka the short shorts like they wear today. So, this was their original outfit, and it was okay, good. Everyone can hear and see. This was their original outfit, like from earlier in the 70s, that you can see it's like more cheerleader-esque and less of like what we see today, which is like, if I say they look like a stripper, I don't mean that derogatorily. I just want everyone to know I do not mean stripper derogatorily. I really, really do not. And then this was the new adult uniform. Now that they have fucking adults on the team, this is the new uniform that is really similar to what you see today, and that's been going on since the 1970s. I think it's just like very. I will say from like a marketing and branding perspective, in the nicest way possible, I will say from like a marketing and branding perspective, they should never change the outfit. Like, it is iconic and it's what they're known for, so I don't think they should ever change it. All right, I'm gonna very delicately move you. You are a metal mic in a metal cup, so it might be noisy, but I'm just gonna turn you.
Beauty at Texas Stadium. And the Dallas Cowboy.
And the Cowboys who almost did. Both could be proud to be.
So that's just like some general video from 1974-75. Starting in the late 1970s, this is also beginning of when they started to get national attention. They started to get calendars, they started to get TV specials, they started to get a TV movie, they started to go on tour, things like that. I'm getting such mixed review on the quality. I'm just going to keep fighting through this. It's Mercury retrograde, and I'm a fighter, and I've overcome a lot to be here tonight, and I'm going to keep fighting. They also visited the troops in South Korea. Interesting. Very, very interesting. My boyfriend is a Cowboys fan. This is how I relate to his culture. Here is them in a commercial in 1978. We're going to get into their pay later, but just know the girlies are not making the money that they need to be making.
I told two friends about Fabergé organic shampoo.
And we told two friends. And so on, and so on.
We Dallas cheerleaders are telling our friends about super rich Fabergé organic shampoo with pure wheat germ oil and honey. For super shine, super body, and fresh smelling hair, use it every day.
You tell two friends, and they'll tell two friends, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on.
Fabergé organic shampoo and conditioner with pure wheat germ oil and honey.
Was that a pyramid scheme? You tell two friends, and I tell two friends, and so on, and so on. Oh, good call out. Someone said, I thought it was too quiet too, but the volume on Twitch was turned down, not the volume on my computer. So double check your volume on Twitch. That was so 1978. It does sound very, very LuLaRoe-esque. This is them in 1988 on a TV telethon. I think they're raising money for something, but like, this is what I mean. Like, she looks like a stripper and she looks great. She looks amazing. No edits.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders.
They're so good.
I think we get it. I think we get the picture. They're going on TV. They're dancing. They're making that money. They're doing their thing. Your assistant did a great job exporting all these videos. I know. We're going to watch some TikToks later that exported kind of weird because it's TikTok, but I digress. So in 1989, Jerry Jones bought the Dallas Cowboys brand and placed his children in executive roles. So his only daughter, Charlotte, became the executive vice president and chief branding officer to oversee the marketing department of the brand that encompasses the cheerleaders and the mascot. If any of you all have watched this show on HBO's Succession, I feel like she's Shiv, and they were like, yeah, Shiv, you can go be the marketing manager for the women thing. Obviously, that's what you would be doing. I just know her brothers are incompetent. Why does it get more quiet the closer you are to the mic? Is that better? I don't want to touch the metal. Yeah, we're just going to leave it like that. I sound really quiet. This is fucked up, you guys. This is fucked up. This is really fucked up. But anyway, she's in charge, and that's when things really, really start to get into high gear, because right there, yeah, I think I need to be a little lower. That's as low as I can go. Okay. Posture who? So anyway, she's in charge of the girls because she's a girl and everyone is sexist. So this is when they really start to eat a lot harder. So I will say she is good at her job. She knows what she's doing.
We had no idea what to expect. We walked out on the field for the first time, and then the crowd stood and they started roaring. And it was just the crowd. Y'all remember the crowd?
It was unbelievable.
The concept was so new. When we went on the field, we wanted it all to be right.
We wanted to do everything perfectly.
Because it wasn't just about us. It was about the Dallas Cowboy organization.
In the 70s, Tex Schramm was a bold and brash owner who thrived on innovation, and that style was behind the creation of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Tex Schramm decided to go from high school cheerleaders to professional dancers.
Was that Tex Schramm's decision, or was that the legal department's decision?
He decided to bring entertainment to the sidelines after the Cowboys won the Super Bowl, and we were an instant success.
We were paid dearly for our performances. We made $15 a game.
I have a pay stub to prove it.
The dream to dance was more than enticing than money, and choreographer Texie Waterman had the experience to turn that passion into a show that rivaled Broadway.
Texie Waterman. She was the best. She was the greatest choreographer.
She said, I want to put Broadway on AstroTurf.
Yeah, she did.
She did. That's right.
Well, in the
They're
70s,
still
this
paid the
concept
same.
of beautiful women with a jazz kind of Broadway-style dance on a football field was all new, and thank goodness it was a great idea, and it was at the right time. All eyes were on Dallas. Dallas, Texas alone was a glamorous city. We had J.R. Ewing, we had Super Bowl Dallas Cowboys, and then we have this new idea of putting beautiful dancers on the sidelines of an NFL game, and it captured the attention of cameras and then kind of catapulted us into a worldwide phenomenon.
They always used to ask us about the uniforms because, of course, this was the 70s, and to a lot of people, they were skimpy.
We were athletes. I just felt like, this is what we wear. If you're a gymnast, you wear a bodysuit. And people say, oh, well, what was the negative feedback? And I don't ever remember any.
We had all been drill team officers in high school and had been in dance for years, and we always wore costumes and uniforms, and this was really not anything different.
I like how these women are like, don't worry, we've been getting objectified for years. We're actually totally down.
Back in the 70s, when you see this uniform and then you look at it today, there are a couple of changes, but you still know that it's the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders uniform.
And it's so cool to see the evolution of the uniform, to see the evolution of the choreography, and all of the dance moves that we do today technically started in 1972.
When I see the other teams, all of the NFL professional cheerleaders, I just want to say, hey, we started it all.
I'm literally obsessed with her.
The vision and success of this organization extends well beyond game days. That is what makes this group so special.
I think that...
Not with the mask on with Meemaw in the hospital. Or is that Peepaw? I don't know who that is, but like, just the visual of having a mask on and your titties out is incredible.
There's so much more to us than just dancers. The charity work, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders giving back to the community.
I don't think we're going to talk about that. I just realized I don't know nothing about that, and I don't think we're going to talk about it.
Just that, it's so much deeper than just getting out on the field and dancing.
A generation of success and a lasting legacy.
Texie Waterman said that in her dance studio prior to us, that every little girl that came in there to take dance lessons wanted to be Miss America. After us, they wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
I'm sorry, I'm just getting a little emotional over how incredible sisterhood is, and women are amazing. You know what I mean? This one doesn't have audio, so I'm just going to play it for you, but just so you can see, this is like flashback to the 70s and 80s. I'm sorry, I need to read this comment. The time I went for my pap smear during lockdown and was naked except for a mask blew my mind. Incredible. Oh, look at them, their pom-poms. I love a pom-pom. I love a good pom-pom. And their shorts are really cute. Anyway, we'll skip over this because we already saw a fair amount of pictures and stuff. So then in 1991, former cheerleaders Kelly Finglass and Judy Trammell became the squad's director and choreographer, and they're still the leaders to this day. So you can see it was like the 70s. Some old dude was like, let's get these high school girls dancing here. And then a woman who was a choreographer was like, maybe we get dancers who are 18 years old, possibly, just a thought. And then like a Nepo baby daughter was like, we need marketing. Let's get an outfit. And then the dancers were like, no, we need vision. We need vision, you guys. The pom-poms are better than the ones we have now. They're more full. Remember when I was a kid, I would always get like viscerally angry because I had little play pom-poms and I didn't understand why my pom-poms didn't look like the ones on TV, because the ones on TV were so full and fluffy and mine were small. So the year 1989, shortly before this, when Jerry Jones became the owner, when he fired Tom Landry and the director of cheerleaders, Susan Mitchell, resigned, tension was really high, and apparently 14 veterans quit that year. She said, we had no idea what he was about. All we knew is there was talk about us being in beer commercials and sponsorship, and that our uniform might get skimpier than it already was, and that we could fraternize with the players. That's when we made a stance and decided that we were going to quit. That Thursday night, 14 veterans of the squad quit, and only 23 rookies were left with the weekend to decide their fate. The women felt that the plans went directly against the team's wholesome image. Interesting time to take a stand when you were already on a dance team that was based on a stripper. I'm not saying you can't take a stand, but it's just interesting. News of their walkout became a huge local news story. I'm going to try one thing with my mic, and then I promise I'll leave it alone after this. I just want to try and see if I hold it upright, if then I don't have to move it anymore. So I'm sorry. Okay, can you still hear me? Let me know if you can still hear me. I'll wait a second. Let me know if this is okay. If you can hear me, we're good. Cool. And let me know if you can hear the video okay. So I'm good. I'm getting lots of yeses. Let me know if the video's working for you.
We're opening another show at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, with the Dallas Cowboys.
You could argue that for the first time in some time, it is a good time to be America's team. Boasting new headquarters, a strong season last year, an owner enshrined in the Hall of Fame, and the Cheerleaders hit show is in its 12th season. Still, there are memories of when one of the pillars of the franchise was threatened.
So these are all from the USO DOD tour?
Buried in storage inside a few North Texas homes.
Here I am with a major head cop going.
This one belongs to Leslie Izell.
I was a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
I'm glad we've worked this out.
Last year of Tom Landry and the first year of Jerry Jones. I had a lot of pride about being
involved. Of course, we had no idea what was about to come.
The year was 1989. In February, Jerry Jones becomes the Cowboys' new owner. He fires Tom Landry, and director of the Cheerleaders, Suzanne Mitchell, resigns. Tensions are high. June brings rumors about Jones's plans for changes to the squad.
We had no idea what he was about. All we knew is that there was talk about us being in beer commercials and sponsorships, and that our uniform might get skippier than what it already was, and that we could fraternize with the players. And then that's when we made a stance and decided that we were going to quit.
14 of the veteran cheerleaders quit.
The uniform is symbolic of the finest, the best, ladies spelled with a capital L, wholesome.
Like, am I missing something? It's not like they were wearing like a fucking long dress before. Like, they were already in shorts and skimpy tops. I don't see, like,
Clean cut up front. The organization has changed and it will never be the same. The way I feel, that's the way I feel about it.
That's a 22-year-old Izelle talking to News 8 hours after she and her teammates quit. It quickly became a national story, and as she did network interviews, the country's eyes turned to the team's new owner. 24 hours later, Jerry Jones called a press conference to clarify.
It has been suggested to me that there was talk about changing the uniform and possibly in a way to make the uniform a little more, whatever you want to call it.
why are his eyebrows stuck like that? Why does he look permanently angry? He looks like, do you guys remember the Me characters on Wii? That's what he looks like.
Just not the case.
Jones insisted there were no plans for major changes to the cheerleaders.
My intent
They are to this day.
absolutely to have our cheerleaders have and hold their head as high and be as important for moms and dads and their children in the future that there ever has been.
He had a sincerity to him. Once he had that talk with us, that's when we all decided to stay.
Dion quit. I quit. Judy quit.
Nearly 30 years later, the women's complaints are a bit conservative. The uniform is now skimpier than ever.
I think it's totally appropriate for this day and age and where we are today.
But that doesn't bother Izelle. She praises Jones for recognizing that women who dreamed of making the team were willing to fight to protect what it stands for. She thinks by listening then, he paved the way for the franchise's success today.
I think him becoming a part of the Hall of Fame is fantastic, and the fact that he allowed the cheerleaders to keep its tradition, I think, is a huge component of that.
I don't see what they're talking about. I'd like to think I'm a kind of smart person, and like, what tradition are you exactly referring to?
We reached out to the Cowboys about this wrinkle in history, but they prefer to keep it stored away, like
No shit.
memorabilia. For her, there are no hard feelings, only an appreciation of all it meant to become and return to being a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader.
Yep.
OMG, be careful when you go to watch something else. What? Anyway, so that is kind of takes them through the 90s. And then in 2006, they had their reality TV show, Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders, Making the Team. And it was on CMT, that's Country Music Television. And the series followed the auditioning process of the annual squad. And it was like during football season, and it showed the training camp, the veteran candidates, blah, 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 blah. There is a new version that was on Netflix really, really recently. I saw the old one on CMT when I was a kid, but I haven't seen the new one. Apparently, the old one ran for 16 seasons, so they only had a very brief hiatus of being off TV. And the recent revival of national interest in the squad because of the Netflix series has stirred the pot about like the treatment of the girls and all that stuff. So that's mainly what we're going to get into today. We're not going to watch this whole thing, but this is one of their first episodes back in 2006.
Two gals. So we've had two people drop out of training camp, Denisha and Sarissa.
One thing that I didn't include in here that I wish I had looking back is like, I bet there's probably so much racism within the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Like, I feel like the black women in the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, because you can see they've had black women in the cheerleaders kind of from the start, which makes sense because it started in the 1970s. But I feel like they're probably seeing some shit. While we watch this, I'm going to Google that.
If someone doesn't want to be here,
Oh, you were talking about be careful because everyone has their volume turned up. I thought, like, you know how YouTube will have, like, a coming up? I was like, what the fuck is on there?
wholeheartedly, then that's mutual on your part as well. You are struggling. Your lack of technique compared to some of the others is evident. We're at a point where we're going to start making cuts, and tonight will be your last night. If I gave a uniform to everybody that wanted to wear it, then this wouldn't be the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
As a Black woman, when I watched the doc, it seemed like the vibe was be grateful you're even here. I was just Googling it and I was hoping I could find an article to read, but all I could find was videos. But that's really much the vibe that I'm picking up too. Like, it's like, you know,
We made our first training camp cut last week, and this week we've been evaluating them every night on their dance technique, their memory, their flexibility, watching their weight.
Did everybody get their latest game evaluation? It's time for you to start taking these real seriously, and your comment, as mild as it may be, like Natalie, for example, I think we've just said need more power, need more power. Ryan, you look like you're gaining weight. Just a bit. Jennifer, you're not.
that makes sense. You might not find anything because other Black women would be reluctant to ruin the chance for new Black girls coming in. I think that's true because the only things I'm finding is people commenting on clips from the shows. I'm not seeing a single interview anywhere, which makes sense, unfortunately.
Grabbing my attention yet, and you need to. I would say watch Nicole tonight. It's those extras that she has mastered that some of you aren't even close to. I'm looking for progress at this point and improvement. I need to see that they've addressed the different things that we've brought to their attention, and I'm also looking for logical reasons of dismissing someone from the squad.
They did tell me that
This one doesn't have
release it,
subtitles.
and so I grabbed Nicole, who is one of the best dancers on the squad, and I love watching her. So if I love watching her, I should emulate her.
Nicole's a girl's girl because Nicole easily could have told you to fuck off. Like, I probably would have. If I was Nicole, I'd be like, bitch, this is a competition. Get away from me.
That one, the flat back, make sure you pop it. Okay. And then on the
Like, hell yeah, Nicole. Hell yeah. I love women like Nicole.
flat back part where we go. Yeah, she needs to start figuring out places where she can smooth things out and make it sexy. And other parts she needs to accent. I know they say do it flowy, but you still want to put a little pop in it.
I really want you to stay on me. So if you see something, ride me, because this will be a waste if not. So thank you for helping me.
No problem.
I'm sweaty, sorry.
Thank you.
Oh my God, why are there tiny ones? There's tiny ones. Okay, we need to move on because I could easily just sit here and watch this whole thing. So let's look at squads throughout the years. So we kind of already saw some of this, but 1979, the hair is herring. The hair is herring. That blowout is a working. These women are working that blowout. There's 1990, barely different, which I love. I love brand consistency. 2000, same fit. Let me see if there is even a difference. Yeah, like the dangle. The only thing is they added fringe. That's the only difference I'm seeing is the fringe. Just seeing a fringe difference. 2000, 2010, bring back big hair. I'm trying my best, y'all. I love the tie. Like, it literally just looks so cute. And I remember when I was a kid, I would love outfits like this. And my parents were like, when you're an adult, you're going to see how bad this is. And now I'm like, no, I like it better. I like it a lot better. Here's them in 2015. Didn't get the group shot. Guess there might have been tension in the air around that time. This is the season 12 trailer, which is in 2017. Oh my God, the side parts in 2010. You're so right. I didn't even notice that. The point that in 1979, they had 2 black women, and in 2024, they still had 2 black women. Yeah, I feel like because like they included black women from the jump because it was post-civil rights movement, so they knew they would get like called out if they didn't. But I think the fact that they haven't been called out, they're like, we can just keep riding this 2-person thing and no one's even going to notice. I'm going to get skinny so I can be a DC cheerleader for Halloween. Real. That's so real. This is their trailer from their show. Again, it was on for fucking ever. The other one we watched was the first episode, or like one of the first ones. This is from 2017.
Cheerleading world, it doesn't get any better than this. And only the best wear the uniform.
It is a privilege to be part of the Dallas Cowboys.
For some, it's a lifelong dream.
It's every girl's dream to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader.
It's been on my bucket list for eons.
Will an 18-year-old from New Jersey blossom before our eyes or buckle from the Dallas heat?
I was crying all week. I'm like, Grandma.
Can 2 former Jets dancers take it to the next level?
You're going to have to dial it up to compete in this room.
Others just can't let the dream go.
I have unfinished business to take care of.
It's not all drama.
I wrote nasty, but in a good way.
There's not much not to like other than she's too hot.
According to Neil, she's in!
Who the fuck is Neil? Who the fuck asked Neil? And this is a good point. Sadly, dance is also expensive. And if we look at socioeconomics, it's not looking great for our BIPOC girlies. That is true. I have a friend whose daughter does dance. And when they tell me how much money they're spending on dance, I'm like, you could operate a Chick-fil-A for that. Are you kidding me? You're never going to get a return on that investment. Would that make me a terrible parent? If I had a kid and she was like, I want to do competition dance, I'd be like, what do we look like? The Rockefellers? You can dance at the YMCA. And then people that are like, oh, we have a dance competition this weekend. They got to pay for the hotel. They got to pay for food. They got to pay for transportation. It's like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So I'm glad someone brought up the financial cost of dance because it's something I find very jarring.
This season, we'll take you beyond the dance studio. Welcome to the Star.
The Star is truly amazing.
We will get to join Jerry Jones when he is inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They will be tested.
So do you know who Sean Spicer is?
I do not know, ma'am. Y'all have to go 10 times faster.
Critiqued.
You're freaking out in front of us.
Bah, bah.
Not you're freaking out in front of us. She's like, do that shit at home. Thank you.
I wasn't impressed with this at all.
Most importantly, given the opportunity of a lifetime.
You are our finest places of goodwill as ambassadors for our club.
Wow.
Will they survive the cut?
I want to be on this team and I don't want an injury to keep me back.
Tonight I need to see in our office, will they become Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders?
All of my hard work, all of the hours I put in, they're all worth it.
Tonight will be your last night here at training camp.
Find out.
I want to watch this so bad right now. I'm like, did they make it? What's going on, you guys? So this is 2023 to 2024. Sorry, some of their heads got cut off. Guess we're back in the group photo. Oh, because of COVID. I bet they didn't have a group photo because of COVID. Oh no, that was like 2010. Anyway, I'm just going to call my mom real quick and thank her for all the money she's spent on dance for me. You better be on the fucking Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Which one is you? Tell me right now. This show is literally so addictive. I want to watch it. Okay, getting into what we all came here for, body image. An old rule book from the DCC from the 90s forbid gaining weight. Other teams have reportedly put cheerleaders through a jiggle test. I guess kind of like that stereotypical sorority thing where they make you sit on the dryer and see what jiggles. And they judge their body firmness at the risk of fines and penalties. I can tell you right now, I'm failing the jiggle test. I can do a fuck ton of push-ups and I can probably beat the shit out of your boyfriend, but I'm failing the jiggle test. Immediately. Former director Susan Mitchell would circle cheerleaders' body parts in photos to show them where they needed to trim down. Like I said, trigger warning on the eating disorders here. and just like body image disorders. A former cheerleader said they were all required to stay within 5 pounds of their audition weight at all times, or they could get full game suspensions. I think that the 5 pounds of the audition weight is particularly fucked up because women's weights fluctuate with their cycles. Like if I'm on my period, I weigh 5 to 7 pounds more because you have more water weight, you're bloated, like all the things. So it's women's body weight fluctuates a lot, especially in like the 3 to 7 pound range. So for it to be, yeah, imagine auditioning at 18 and having to stay that size. You're right, because it would go season to season. I was just thinking one season at a time. You're right. That's crazy. During an episode of DCC Making the Team within the last few days, Kelly said the ideal body shape for a DCC is an old pinup girl, 36 inches at the bust, 24 at the waist, and 36 at the hips. I don't know my measurements, but I know my hips and my waist only has like a 2-inch difference. So 12 is crazy. Do you think sororities got it from them, or do you think they got it from sororities? Or do you think maybe they both came to it out of their own independent misogyny? I guess we'll never know. So this is literally 49 minutes long, but we are just I'll look and see what the most popular parts of the video were, and we'll just watch those. This is some questions about being a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. I guess these girls were in it. I'm kind of hesitant. Anyone that's like in it, I'm like, I feel like this is like heavily ran by their PR. So I'm like hesitant to think you're telling me all the dirt, but I guess we'll see.
You cheered for the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders for 4 years.
Yeah, a long time. When you put on the uniform, like you feel like you're wearing a superhero costume. And it's the most confident and beautiful like I've ever felt, and not because of the way I look, but because I know what I'm representing. Yeah.
It's just
like they're always talking about what they're representing. A football team? Like, I think the cheerleaders are better than the football team. Y'all need to think about how the team is representing you. Like, if the team loses, I think the cheerleaders should get to, like, hit them. Just beat them.
It's a reminder for all of us to not pass judgment.
When you get in your head about yourself
judging.
and you're so consumed and, like, worked up and stressed about it, you need to go
Like, can't we just be hot and dance together? Why is it always about the team? Why does it always have to be what we're representing? Why does it always have to be about them? The cheerleaders are better and more consistent.
Somebody else and think about somebody else. It was difficult because I'm like, well, dang it, like, did they make the wrong decision?
Right.
They would say things like, she's obese, or like, yeah.
Are you for real?
Yeah, which I'm like, okay. Like,
I'm gonna fight that person.
I know.
Who are you? I'm coming for you.
I, like, can't handle podcasts like this, so we're gonna try and get through this, and I mean no hate to these women, I'm just having a hard time.
Claire,
I don't think this is happy or healthy.
I am so excited to have you on. We go 2 years back, is that right? 2021?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we go way back, and I know you reached out a while ago to do a podcast, and I think the timing is just right. And so, everybody, this is Claire Wilford. I was just on her podcast, Sweet as Honey, so she drilled me with some questions, and now it's time to put you back on the spot.
I know, I'm kind of scared, but kind of excited.
No, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. So, if you guys don't know who Claire is, you are now an ex-Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. Is that sad for you to say?
Yes. Yeah, I will say I'm technically an all-star, so...
Oh, you're doing appearances and stuff still?
Yes, I perform at games, like, before the game, and then we get to go home.
Oh, so you're still a cheerleader?
Still, yeah, not always, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about that because I'm curious how that works. But you cheered for the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders for 4 years.
Yeah, a long time.
Which is really, really cool. And obviously the documentary, is it a documentary or is it just a show?
Yeah, I think it's a documentary.
Okay, the documentary just came out and you guys had some pressing questions. And so we're going to ask Claire some questions today, but we're going to go easy on her because some of y'all asked some mean questions.
Oh,
and
gosh.
be nice to my girl Claire, okay? No, it's going to be good. Okay, Claire, just tell us a little bit about you. Obviously, like, you are a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, but there's so much more to you than that, and I never want to just, like, place a label on someone.
And wanted to go out of state so badly. Ended up going to Nebraska my fashion, so...
Bye,
I was out
Claire.
there, and then I started to teach, and, like, teach adult class at home, and I wanted to finish school no matter... So, yeah, it was wild, and made the team, moved here, and have been here ever since, and, like, love Texas so much.
Oh, yeah, so...
Yeah, really glad we skipped through that. You seem like a lovely young girl, but that's just not what we're here to talk about.
Texas forever?
I think so. I mean...
we got her.
I'm, like, open to other places, but I feel like I really love it here.
Yeah. And when we were on her podcast, you were just telling me how good your community is, right? And that's, I think, what keeps most people staying here, because I think, transparently, if I weren't from Dallas or Texas, I don't know if I would have lived here.
Okay, yeah, I can't do this. We're moving on. Like, I don't need to hear two women talk about their favorite brewery in Dallas, Texas. I just simply do not care. So this is from the show With the Cuts. I told you I was going to cancel stream tonight because of my voice, but it's so many videos. We're really just watching TV together.
I can tell when I'm about to break into laughter. Well, you start hiding behind your curtain of hair. You always do this, Judy. You think it hides you. It does. It doesn't. You're
I'm
still
invisible.
In the room.
First, you should
Oh, no. Oh, what?
I know that I messed up a lot tonight. Please, no.
This was the most awkward conversation I've ever had in my life.
I know I can do this. I know I can do this.
I could never do this job. Ever. I would let everyone stay. I'd be like, oh, sweetie, it's okay. I would have like a consolation team. I'd be like, you can do this one. I'd be like, this one's for fun. This is the rec team.
I know I can do this. Don't say it.
Can I tell you what we know?
No.
No.
They're all uncomfortable, but that was really uncomfortable.
It was uncomfortable because her reaction was unexpected and unprecedented. She was kind of having a meltdown. Like, she almost scared me.
That's barely a meltdown. These bitches could not handle one of my meltdowns. She was just crying. That's not a meltdown. She didn't even throw anything. She didn't scream. She didn't start hitting her own head. If you have never hit your own head with a hairbrush, you don't get to speak on meltdowns.
She did me too. And then you started hiding behind your hair like you do. What I do. That's why you're you and I'm me. Some eliminations are harder than others, and it's hard to say why. Some people, you can just see their hearts more. You came in with tissues?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Technically,
She looks so much different now.
are not dancing at the level of a lot of the others in the room. We're making cuts tonight, and you're one of them. And it's hard to say because we really, really like you. I'd love to.
Is this what I look like when when a kid of my class is failing, we have to do this little meeting where we tell them they're failing, and I feel like this is the vibe.
See you guys next year. We'd love to see you next year.
So I remember Madeline, she had told us she was living on a blow-up mattress. She was very green. Her whole dream was on that training camp, and we were just about to.
All she wanted was to be on this team. She was living on a blow-up mattress. So we cut her. She was cut immediately.
To deflate her mattress. We did. But she came back stronger. I think
We had to deflate her mattress. I was joking. What we had to deflate her mattress. I'm not built for this.
she's one of our strongest veterans now. She kind of just brings the goodness to the locker room.
Good, how are you? Oh, I'm terrified. I don't like the direction that you're going as a veteran.
We had a conversation with her that she didn't like the way it went. She went in the locker room, she spouted off, and she's a brand new second-year veteran, and now all these new rookies are seeing how second-year veterans are not supposed to act.
Right. That is not me. From the bottom of my heart, I can't even begin to tell you.
I'm not buying her. I still don't buy it. I'm not a body language expert, but I'm not buying it.
The decision we've made is to release you from this training camp.
Look at you. You're twiddling.
I always twiddle my thumbs and let you do all the talking because I can't.
I want you to know I take it very seriously. Every breath that comes from your mouths with as much sincerity as a couple would express in their vows.
A poem is interesting. I love the uniqueness. Be yourself.
Their vows? I hope that you still see the fire in me. Look at your face. Please don't give up on me.
We have seen you perform big, and you're right, you can. But you're inconsistent, and you're struggling.
So yeah, they cut women all the time. Seems pretty traumatic. So let's get into some more body shaming. Some of these are TikToks, so they're hard to see, but really hearing is what you need. Which is great that all of our microphones are fucking up.
On to number 18, Katie. Rookie candidate. I want to really like her because she's great. Still think she's ready this year. I don't think she's ready either. Her belly just looked terrible during the kicks. I say put her through. She that good? She's a fighter. I see it in her. Her energy, I love the he's going to tighten it up.
Feel like she.
They have a rule that if I work at a bar and a player comes, I have to leave my place of employment. That is insane.
Should have already tightened it before she got here, though.
Yeah, but college life.
Yikes on bikes. So during an episode that aired in 2013, 4 veteran cheerleaders were put on probation because they were told that they gained too much weight. Kelly Finglass reveals that cheerleaders are obligated to maintain their audition weight, and if they're not, they're in breach of contract. Later in the episode, cameras turn toward Williams when she tries on the uniform, white shorts, the boots, and the knot, and Finglass, outside of Williams' earshot, tells others in the room that Williams looks short and thick and that her cowboy boots are almost to her knees and that she has huge quads like a drumstick. Oh, I don't know. Maybe she has large quads because she's a fucking athlete, Kelly. Maybe it's because of the extremely difficult physical tasks she does every single day of her life. Just a thought. Up until the 2020 season, Kelly would make comments shown on the show about the girls' bodies, and then I guess Netflix was like, Kelly, shh. It's usually filled with comments from Finglass on the woman's body type. If they have a really square body type, it doesn't work in our uniform. We can't just make the uniform look good on her. We would have to play into being cut. Today we had a little bit of thigh and butt running together, so we're calling it a thud. Let's have Kelly stand on a washer and we can do the jiggle test on Kelly. Just a thought. Just a thought. When Finglass fitted her uniform, she noted that Megan's thut proved to be particularly frustrating, and it wasn't about losing the weight. We think you're a great performer. I don't think our uniform fits your body. And that was kind of evident in the uniform fittings yesterday. You can't change your body. You don't need to lose weight. You're just a stockier build for this uniform. Kelly, what the fuck? That was not chill of you, Kelly. These TikToks seem like they're kind of hard to hear. Hopefully you can hear them at least a little bit.
Your body, and the first thing we look at is what's your total body fat percent. Your total body fat is 15.8%. Now the normal range for girls your age is 24 to 26% on this test. So your body fat's actually a little too low. I don't get to say that very often. So I'm going to tell you to gain weight, which I don't get to say very often either.
It's no surprise that the girls who are...
I would rather go kayaking off of Niagara Falls than get the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader body scan.
Are lean on the DEXA scan. They visually also happen to be some of the ones that look the best in our uniform.
You saying who looks the best in our uniform is not different. I know you think it's different, but it's not.
Yeah, I had no idea there was this much that went into being a cheerleader.
And the first thing we look at is your total body fat percent, which was 24.7%, 26.3%, 22%. Your body fat distribution is perfect. 16.5%, and that was 28.1%. So you do test a little bit outside that normal range. I'm not worried about that for a health issue at all, and you look great.
But of course, those tiny itty bitty uniforms are really revealing.
Who the fuck is that? Who are you?
We can get you leaner, okay? We're gonna make those glutes salute, all right? Okay. So,
right now.
Who the fuck is that guy? And why is he wearing like a military grade outfit?
I'm really craving pizza, but I have a feeling that would not be a good idea after I just had a body fat scan. So
I think that's the perfect time, because if you ate it before, maybe it would affect the scan, but they're probably not going to give you a scan for at least another week.
I'll probably go have a sandwich.
coming up next.
This is humiliating enough, but a man being present would end me. Oh, okay. Love the notes from my assistant. Start at 7:05 and go to the end. Okay, girl boss, you got it.
It's one thing to become...
Okay.
Show is, whoa, were they harsh.
You have gained weight. All of that made the judges think what's going on. If you don't take some of your weight off that the judges saw, you're not going to defend it.
How do you, Kelly, balance the reality of what you need in the team and what you're looking for with the outside conversation that might come with that?
It is a delicate balance, and I've learned, and I hope I've grown through the years too, to understand just how fragile that conversation can be. Much like in Hollywood, wardrobe is a part of our presentation, and the uniform is not as forgiving as just normal street clothes, so there's that reality. But I definitely, the girls are their best nutritionists amongst themselves.
The girls are the best nutritionists amongst themselves. What the fuck does that mean? She's like, we don't need a nutritionist. No. The girls are their own nutritionist. Very safe.
Encourage healthy eating, and we actually help provide meals. And we don't talk about weight anymore. We don't weigh anymore. That is
I do not
dated,
believe that.
and it doesn't feel right anymore. So
I do not believe that for 1 second. That woman is lying. He knows it and I know it.
We try to.
I'm putting you on like babysitter duty for a second while you finish this video and I go get a cough drop. I refuse to fucking give up on this.
Grow as our society does and embrace that. I think we pick now even kind of a curvier figure than some years in the past. And I've learned by experience that the more, if we say something, it just makes it worse. They are such athletes and they work out so beautifully and hard on their own. They're very disciplined, and that's the way we've kind of transitioned.
What do you have to say though to people who maybe see the needle has been moved but not where they want it to be? The inclusivity isn't where they think it should be.
I mean, it's only 36 people, and we do have a wardrobe.
She's like, we only have 36 people, guys. It's impossible to be representative with 36 people.
Requirement.
It's a hard uniform to wear, but they're very athletic, and
It's a part of the job to wear the uniform.
Right.
We also have to be very physically fit to be able to get through what we do. So that's really, I mean, I've even seen the team shift so much in the 5 seasons that I've been here. From when I started to now, we have changed so much with the world and the things that we do.
We've changed with the world. Moving on. When I look at myself in that uniform, I'm always like, oh man, I need to lose at least 3 pounds. These poor women. At least one good thing to come out of the interview is the fact that she admits that they no longer do the weigh-ins. I'm going to skip over this because we just watched the interview. This is them saying terrible things to veterans about their weight. Not veterans of like the military, veterans of DCC.
That is a noticeable weight gain in some of our veterans.
Hey. We wanted to talk to you a little bit about your appearance. You've gained like 13 pounds since last year. So now you're at risk of losing your job here.
Yes, ma'am.
You've got to get your appearance back to when we picked you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. This is what makes us the best, and if we want our spot back, then we know exactly what we need to do.
Some of y'all are getting...
Also, like the ages they recruit of like 19 to early 20s, it's very common to gain like 10 or 15 pounds as a woman in that time of your life.
visibly heavy looking and sluggish. And I sure as hell don't want to cut you.
That's understood.
We're concerned because you just don't look like you used to in your uniform.
Yes, ma'am.
And you need to.
Yes, ma'am.
If you're not ready for cameos, then you won't have a cameo.
Yikes.
Fit foods could be a solution. It might make more sense to you. So that's the project.
Okay. Thank you.
Not the project.
Okay. Good night.
Yeah, this one's super quiet, so I'm going to skip it. Women get dinged for being too short, too scrawny, or lacking expert-level makeup skills. As shown in the Netflix series, one of the cheerleaders, Ari, was fitting well with the squad and was a fan favorite until she got cut towards the end of training camp. She wasn't told her face was the real reason she was cut, but later revealed she was cut for being too short when they have no height requirement, unlike the Rockettes. So the Rockettes have like height requirements, but the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders don't, but they're still cutting bitches for being too short. This is a dietitian talking about their stuff. I hope you can hear it. I'm going to hold the mic a little bit closer. That was probably horrifying, sorry.
Wow. Okay. As someone who has worked in football for the last 8 years, I have a lot to say coming from the nutrition body image perspective. Their proper diet protocols completely go against like sports nutrition recovery 101. There is a scene where they're talking about like the progression of the organization and they flip through the handbook. I see right there where it says proper diet. So naturally, I'm like pausing it so I can read. I don't know if this is current. Even if it's not current, it doesn't matter. It was literally in the docuseries. Netflix showed this literally for us to see. Eat a healthy breakfast, even if it's just a couple of eggs and a piece of toast. These are athletes. A couple of eggs and a piece of toast is going to support like 30 minutes of the type of activity that they're doing. And they're working full time. They need to be fueling their bodies. And then this is like the worst suggestion ever. Try not to eat after 6 p.m. When you get home
It's over
from
for me.
practice, have a piece of fruit.
It's immediately over for me.
The whole point and the issue surrounding this team is that they all have to have full-time jobs because they're barely getting paid. So practice doesn't start till like 5:30 or 6. So you're telling me that after they've worked an entire day at their job, then they have to go to practice and you're expecting them not to eat after practice? Sports Nutrition 101 is recovery, refuel, rebuild your muscle tissues after you work out.
She's eating them up. I love this. Eating them up.
Research shows that you are more susceptible and at risk for stress fractures, ligament damage, muscle tissue damage, serious injuries if you don't refuel after exercise. A piece of fruit does not cut it. You need to have protein. You need to be properly refueling your body after that intense of an exercise. Telling these athletes they can't eat after 6 p.m. and like who decided 6 p.m.? There is literally zero scientific research or evidence supporting that you should not eat after 6 p.m. Let me make that clear. Zero. So what are we talking? Who made up 6 p.m.? Why not 10 p.m.? Why not like, who cares? They're working out at night. They need to be able to eat and recover their bodies at night. The other thing that is just like blowing my mind, but it's not because I've been involved in football for so long. And this is like, it's sad that this is not surprising to me that the organization is making so much freaking money. And the owner's daughter is in a position of power where she could make such a huge difference. And she totally drops the ball. Look, at the end of the day, these cheerleaders are probably going to...
They learned it from 2016 Tumblr not to eat after 6. Stop.
Start getting paid soon, and it's because the owners want to protect their image and not because they actually think the cheerleaders should get paid. They've already...
Okay, now she's talking about pay stuff. We'll get into that later. More body shaming. We might skip some of these, actually. Yeah, I'm going to skip this one because we're a little behind and we've had lots of body shaming. So, America's sweethearts seem to anticipate this kind of pushback and depiction of their pro-cheerleading as uniquely punishing work. Men may ruin their bodies playing football or be shunned by the NBA because they aren't 7 feet tall, but no one expects them to fulfill every fan's fantasy as sweet surrogate granddaughters to the nursing home residents like we see DCC visit, role models to these little girls who idolize them, and eye candy to guys of all demographics. That sentence made me want to die. Who wrote that? I would like you to answer for your crimes immediately. Almond DCC mom. There's 2 parts here.
Yummy. The meal of the DCC. Victoria, where would you like to eat? Mom, I'll eat in there. Okay.
Watermelon and rice cakes.
Before my
Nice.
I was called in 4 or 5 times, and one was about my weight, one was about not being professional enough and not communicative enough.
I feel like we're at a point where you really need to take a real mature approach to this as a job.
I did go
See, that's the thing, is that jobs pay you.
to a few nutritionists, but I think I was not embarrassed at the time, but unwilling to accept that.
That's code for a licensed nutritionist said you need to eat, and she was like, that doesn't sound like what Kelly would say.
Help.
Let me know your opinions on this little top.
Ooh, I like it. I like
Oh, she publicly talks about her eating disorder?
Everyone in the world has accepted curves more and not having to be, okay, abs tone, no jiggle. But it was just a whole different situation 5-6 years ago.
This is literally insane. Someone protect these women.
Myself. I look disgusting. You don't look disgusting ever. No, Mom, my shorts look 3 sizes too small. Where? It's pinching into my belly rolls.
She had to take a year off because her mental health was so bad?
No.
We can, if you zoomed in on any of the other girls at this angle, you're gonna get the same stuff.
That's so real of her.
There's no way to hide it.
That's so sad. This woman needs help. So this is former DCC thoughts. This is from Megan Provden. She's a former DCC cheerleader from season 9 of Making the Team. Although I'm glad to see progress is happening in this realm of cheerleading, it's still shocking to see how dated they still are and how much further they have to go. The Cowboys are certainly reacting to the public's less than favorable opinion of their previous body shaming tendencies on the show. It's certainly a step in the right direction, which I commend them for, but there's more work to do in the areas of diversity and body inclusion on that squad. That's saying the absolute least. This is one of the girls getting put on probation because she gained 9 pounds. Me gaining 9 pounds is a good July, baby.
Kelly gave me a little weight warning, so I've definitely been working super hard. So she's proud of me when I put this uniform on. Here we go.
In my mind, that is exactly how I look. And then when I see myself, like a picture of myself in a bikini, I'm like, who's that?
How much weight have you lost? You look good.
6 pounds, about 8 or 9 pounds. Yeah, this is literally the thinnest I've probably been, I'd say, since 8th grade.
Since 8th grade? Since 8th grade? No! No!
Oh, that's good stuff. There was a time when we were thinking about cutting her, and she looks like a different person. And I know she's a great performer, so this is exciting.
Help! Help, 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 help. So we're going to watch some cool dances before we get into the pay issues, because I was like, I can't emotionally handle body shaming. I just spit all over myself. I can't emotionally handle body shaming and then immediately jumping into pay discrimination. So I was like, can we at least let them like be in their moment for 1 minute? Can we have 1 minute in their moment? This is exciting. This is an eating disorder. Kelly's like, oh, finally, someone is doing what I tell them to. So here is the Thunderstruck dance. This is from 2022. I'm going to keep the mic towards me because it's music. So. They're so talented. Yeah, necessary break. Like, I just needed to see some bad bitches shine. I've been seeing bad bitches get torn down, and I need to see them shine. We are going to watch the whole thing. Okay. Actually, that's a lie. We're going to watch till they do the split. I don't know if that's at the end. I assume it is. I wish we could zoom in. God, we have shitty seats, you guys. As a Gen Z, I can't believe how the early 2000s were, right? Look how in sync they are. When my class has to line up to go somewhere, this is how in sync I want them. They'll never achieve it. I wanted to see them all as a unit, but I do wish they zoomed in sometimes. Me in my bedroom right now. Show them this video as inspo. I'm like this far from getting in trouble. This far. And it's just a great song. And I'm like, I feel like no one is giving them as much hype as you and I want them to have that hype. I want them to do the split. I think it's at the end. It is. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit for time's sake. Sorry. Oh my God, this is so fucking cool. They're so cool. Let them eat. Because it would be just as cool if everyone was 10 pounds heavier. You literally can't even tell from over here. Look at them. They're so cool. They're so cool and pretty. Oh, the cough drop is healing me. It is. It definitely is. They're eating. Let them eat. They ate, so let them eat. Incredible. Can that fucking football player get the fuck out of here? Get the fuck out of here. It is not your time. What the fuck are you doing? You're not even on the team. What the? Oh, you kicked the ball into practice. Do you see all that other fucking grass on the sidelines? Jeff? Get the fuck out of here during the Thunderstruck dance. Look how close he is to her. Get away from her. Get a job.
I mean, now that we've got them all in here, practically every rookie candidate up there was one of my.
I'm going to skip this. I don't want to see them judging them more. I'm over it. Here is a hip hop halftime routine. They have like outfit diversity for this one. They're so good. No one asked for you guys. I don't know who you are, but no one asked. I want to do like a more close-up Thunderstruck performance. I want you to see Thunderstruck like from right there. So we're going to skip that one because it had boys in it, and we're going to watch Thunderstruck again. I'll put it towards the end. They're so talented. Hairography. I want to be them when I grow up. I know I'm older than all of them, but I still want to be them. It's never too late. The crowd does need to give it more. I'm like genuinely okay, there you go. How do I buy their I need that outfit. How do I buy their jerseys? Like, I want to rep her. I don't give a fuck about the team. Doing this on concrete is insane. Apparently the split is like very damaging to their body. How do they do that? If me and my friends tried to do that, we'd end up in the hospital. Oh. I know that shit hurted. I know that shit hurted. So let's talk about the pay.
I would say I'm making like a substitute teacher of, I would say I'm making like a Chick-fil-A worker that works full-time.
Okay, here's my spiel on, I'm in my boyfriend's house. He went to Dartmouth. Flex. So here's my spiel on the pay, okay?
So I'll break it down for you. I can't tell you every dollar amount because I don't read my contract all the way full, and
That's
I
insane.
think it says something about like not disclosing that stuff. So I'm just not even gonna play around with it. But I'm gonna give you the breakdown because I'm pretty sure that like that's just like whatever. That's perfectly fine. I'm hoping. Breakdown. We get paid for games. We get a flat fee, and then with the flat fee for the games, we get paid an hourly rate. So flat fee plus hourly, and game days are like 11 hours long. So it's pretty nice.
11 hours.
That. And then for appearances, we get paid the same thing. A flat fee depending on your tenure. So if you're a first year, you get paid a certain amount. And then if you're a fifth year, you get paid a certain amount. And it stops after fifth year. After fifth year, you still make that same amount. Fifth years make a lot more money because of your tenure, your time.
Yeah, especially
First
if you're
year's
18.
Rookie, a little different. With that flat fee, it does come with hourly rate too. So your appearance is a flat fee plus your hourly rate. And then for practice, we do just hourly. We clock in at 7 and clock out at like 10, 11 o'clock, just depending on the day. And even though we have to get there at like 5:45, 6:30, 6:15, you still clock at 7. Oh, and then for appearances,
That's
you
illegal.
do them voluntary. So if you don't want to book any appearances, you don't have to. If your full-time job doesn't allow you to do stuff during the day, then you just get paid for practices and game days.
Key part, if your full-time job, which most of them have.
But however, if you're like me, who worked a part-time job the whole time and then made room for DCC no matter what, I booked every appearance. I said,
why do I feel like she meant that like in like a I'm more committed than you way?
Yes to, because I always was available to make available for them. So
I was always available for DCC. Like, okay, was DCC available to your bank account? Doesn't seem like it. The person who said, my friend is a Chiefs cheerleader, and she said she doesn't make enough to cover her transportation and beauty appointments.
I got paid a little bit more. And if you're in leadership too, you get paid a little bit more because you get to clock a little bit more hours. So, I mean, all in all, it's like a full-time commitment, part-time pay. So it's a good part-time job, but we do a lot of work.
That is not a good part-time job is like dog walking. That's not a good part-time job. So in 1977, they were only paid $15 per home game. In the 80s, they were given a raise to $35 a game, and many of the cheerleaders were surprised because they all thought of it as an honorary position. Tina Kalina, current DCC Victoria Kalina's mom and former DCC herself, their therapy appointments must go crazy, said the girls today do it as a job where us old-timers looked at it as more of a privilege. Ladies, get up. I'm begging y'all to get up. According to America Girls, the cheerleaders are now reportedly making $12 an hour. And like she said, practice, you start getting paid at 7, but you have to be there at 5:45. And they get $400 on game day as I guess their flat fee. I don't know if that's up to date or not, but it had to be within the last 10 years. That is insane. So this is a TikTok. I'm not going to turn the mic because I don't even think they talk, but it's all the girls at work. And Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders posted this, I think, which is terrible marketing. So that one's a financial planner, a marketing coordinator, digital media specialist, account executive. I know their managers are sick of this shit. Influencer marketing specialist. Patient services specialist plus model. Digital experience production consultant. A lot of these sound like fake jobs. I'm of the thought process that if you can't explain your job to a 5-year-old, it's a fake job. So like teacher, kids understand that. Fireman, kids understand that. Painter, kids understand that. Digital experience production consultant, they don't know what that is. The girl boss movement set us back so far. So Emma Wilkins, sorry you can hear my cough drop. Emma Wilkins, former DCC, sued the Cowboys in 2017 for lost wages. Her total annual earnings, only $4,700. Yes, it's prestigious, but at the end of the day, prestige doesn't pay my rent. I can't walk down to my leasing office and hand them my uniform for the month. Her career with the Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders, not her whole life, ended in 2017, and she's suing them because apparently the team mascot makes $65,000 a year plus commission, and the cheerleaders were making $8 per hour at practice in 2017. I think the what did we see it was before? 15 an hour is more up to date. This is just above minimum wage, and they have flat rates for games and appearances and calendar signings and things like that. Wilkins also claims she worked hours, many of them in the AT&T Stadium, the team owner Jerry Jones' $1.2 billion football temple, for which she wasn't compensated, and that she was not paid overtime for weeks that she worked more than 40 hours. She said she made her rent by working as a part-time technician at a spa. For appearances, she said she was paid a flat fee of $100 her first year, $200 her second year, and $300 her third year, with pay increases capped at $500 per appearance. And she says group show appearances are capped at $250 no matter your tenure. And she said on game days back then they earned a flat rate of $200. That's like what you pay a babysitter. Like $200 is what you leave a 16-year-old for watching your kids for the whole day. Not an elite athlete. And then here's the news story about it.
The prestige, that's great, but at the end of the day, that prestige doesn't pay the bills or pay the rent.
Tell them.
She's taking on America's team. A former cheerleader files a federal lawsuit against the Dallas Cowboys, saying cheerleaders aren't paid for all the hours they work. Thank you for joining us. I'm Gilma Avalos.
And I'm Doug Dunbar. Our Robbie Owens sat down with that former cheerleader this afternoon. She is live in our Dallas tower with the rest of the story. Robbie?
Well, Doug, Erica Wilkins admits that she...
Meanwhile, the men are making $200 an hour. I think it's in here later, but the fact that there's players who did not see the field once and made millions of dollars, probably. I don't know how football works.
Was and wasn't prepared for the reaction to this lawsuit. Needless to say, she's stopped reading the social media comments, but she told me that it is her faith that has her convinced that this is a fight worth fighting, even taking on $1 billion company, because she says it's about fairness.
There really is.
Oh my God, they have to leave the uniforms at the stadium because someone made porn in the uniform? I hope she got her money. At least someone in a DCC uniform is getting paid.
No feeling like it when they announce that you are a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. That feeling is surreal.
But Erica Wilkins says the stardust began to fade under the...
Yeah, a rookie contract in the NFL is a minimum of $700,000, and they will probably not even play.
harsh realities of dollars and cents. $8 an hour, in fact, for the women cheering on America's team.
Just saying, what about all of the endorsement deals and advertisement deals that you get money from? And I'm going, we're not, that's not true. That's simply not true. We're not allowed to get endorsements like the players.
They're not allowed to get endorsements. I wonder if now they're allowed to do like Instagram ads and stuff, like brand deals. I would hope so.
Wilkins says an injury ended her cheerleading career last year. Now she says she's filed a federal lawsuit to make a difference.
Again, nobody's asking to get rich. They just want to get paid fair.
The lawsuit accuses the Cowboys of not paying cheerleaders for all of the hours worked and of not paying overtime.
And they don't make the players smile while they're playing. For millions of dollars, the least you could do is smile.
The lawsuit also raises the issue of pay disparity with the Cowboys' male mascot, Rowdy.
Not Rowdy. Imagine looking at Rowdy and knowing Rowdy makes like 10 times what you do.
They got this mascot, Rowdy, that makes about $65,000 a year. They're struggling to get by. And I'm optimistic the Cowboys actually want to be a part of that change and maybe change the industry to where these hardworking women, professional athletes, are paid a fair day's pay for a fair day's work.
Wilkins says she declined the Cowboys' offer to pay her the requested back pay. She's asking for other cheerleaders to join the lawsuit to change the system.
What a girl's girl. I love that.
I'm not doing this for the money. I'm not doing this to get rich. I'm doing this to help make a change.
A modern day feminist hero. And this is not just a DCC issue. Oh, I have to sneeze. I feel it. In recent years, it's coming. In recent years, pay equity has been a prominent issue for women athletes across a lot of sports leagues. And in the NFL, the past decade has seen a growing number of cheerleaders speaking out following Lacey, a former Oakland Raiderette, filing the first class action lawsuit in 2014 for wage theft and gender discrimination. By 2020, 10 of the NFL's 26 teams had been served lawsuits over compensation, wage theft, hostile work environments, and harassment. So DCC, is it their fault? Yes. Were they the first ones? Yes. But have they made a difference today? No, they haven't. So she also, a couple of people also said they don't get stipends for anything. So like they're, like you see, full makeup, full hair, nails, spray tans, all of that. They don't pay for, like the team doesn't pay for that. The girls pay for that. We don't have a stipend for anything. Management gives you a rookie makeover, and once you make the team, you're required to maintain that look. So if they gave me highlights and extensions, which they did, then I'm expected to pay for the upkeep of that. You literally can't even pay to make yourself look the way you need to look. Meaning that if the cheerleader is a natural blonde and during makeover day they decide she looks better as a brunette, she would take on the cost of upkeeping that to keep her spot. So this is one of them talking about the makeovers. I would be in the hospital. I would go insane. I'm sorry.
Put a finger down if you were blonde your whole life. Made it into training camp last year as a blonde. Got all the way to rookie makeovers, and then they turned you brunette. Then didn't make the top 36. And now we're back in training camp for 2024, and we're waiting to see what they do with my hair this year.
I would turn into the Joker. If you turned me brunette and then cut me? She does look really good as a brunette. I don't know what she looked like as a blonde, but they might have made the right choice. I wonder if she was a natural blonde or was dyeing it. Maybe they did make the right choice. So it's kind of a running joke for the girls on our team. The guys on the practice squad who don't even touch the field get $80,000 more a year than we do. And I'm at every single game dancing my ass off. Apparently the practice squad is like, you're not on the team, so you don't get like the big contract, I think. But like you practice with them, and if someone got injured, they could like pull you to the team. I think that's what it is. And I'm at every single game, dancing my ass off in every appearance. It's unfortunate that with how much they pretend or say that we are important and we're the face of the organization, the way they treat us and pay us does not come equal to that. This is a day in the life TikTok of one of them. They're our strongest soldiers. Like if we ever have another terrorist attack, we should put them at the border or the sky or wherever. I think they're strong.
Hey everybody, today we are doing a little day in my life as we prep for Thanksgiving week in Miss Dolly Parton. Can't wait, it's gonna be so much fun. So this morning I started off with a workout over at Sports Academy. Had a few other girls there with me, so that was super fun. Now I just got home, got ready. I'm gonna film a podcast with Darian, and I'm sipping on my little What Would Dolly Do coffee mug. It's gonna be a great day, and I'm happy to bring you guys along.
I'm assuming they don't get paid to work out because like the football players have mandatory workouts and that's kind of considered like a part of their compensation of the millions of dollars.
All right, so we just finished up filming an episode with Darian for Sweet as Honey.
Does this girl have a job? I mean, other than the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders?
So excited for everyone to hear it. She is literally like one of the coolest people I know. So keep your eyes out for that one. Now I'm just gonna go grab some lunch and then head over to the dance studio to teach a few classes to my little ones.
Oh, she's a dance teacher.
And we're gonna head to practice. Quick little lunch break and we're off to work. And I've got my Dolly shirt on today, so.
This is the girl who was interviewed earlier. That's what I thought.
Studio, and now it's time to teach. Just finished teaching my little ones. They got me all energized, so now I'm ready to go to practice. Say hi, girls. Hi.
Everyone looks exhausted.
Hi, Val. Hey, Claire. She's about to fix me up for practice.
Now I see why if practice starts at 7, you have to get there at 5:30.
Dolly says working 9 to 5, but today was more like an 8 to 10. I just got home. It's 10 p.m. and we had a great practice. We did rehearse for Dolly halftime, so we're so excited to debut it. And now I'm just gonna make some dinner, get into bed as early as I can, and prepare for my work early tomorrow morning.
This is hell. And I will say it's not that different from my schedule. Like she said, the work is 8 to 10. Today I worked from 8. It's 8:40 right now. I'll probably finish this at like 9-ish. Took a break for dinner. But that being said, my work is sitting down and I'm getting paid. So it's, to me, a little bit different. There's more than just financial costs. The salaries of the DCC, bearing on more than just their ability to cover the cost of living. The true cost of physically performing is different for lots of other types of labor. Like I said, I'm sitting down. Where was I? There's potential for long-term damage to their bodies and the inevitable healthcare costs that accompany injury and recovery. America's Sweetheart devotes the better part of an entire episode to cheerleaders learning how to perform jump splits, an impressive but painful acrobatic feat that's become part of their signature move. I think that's the jump where they all do the split. And you get benefits for your work. Yeah, like my job gives me health insurance. Doesn't seem to be the case here. In the series, former cheerleader Caroline details how she postponed a reconstructive hip surgery to finish out her final season. After retiring, she got the surgery and needed an additional procedure done on her foot. Another cheerleader, Mrs. Michelle Sharp, who now works as an admin for the organization, shares that she's had 12 orthopedic surgeries in the last 6 years, while per year revealed that she tore both her hips during her time as a cheerleader, while Sundvold talks about her time with the organization as literally the best job you could have, Stockholm Syndrome. Wilkins, who retired after finishing her final year with a neck and shoulder injury, the price of being a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader was too much given what she was being paid. So their current day pay, oh good. They earn about $500 per game. Their hourly rate is between $15 to $20 per game. The NFL average is only $150 per game. So, like, yes, the Dallas Cowboy, they are fucking over their cheerleaders, but so is everyone else, even worse. So maybe all of them should go to hell. In comparison, the NFL Water Boys made an average of $53,000 in 2022. $53,000 is not a ton of money, but I would say in not major cities, but in like most rural and suburban areas is like a livable wage. 53 is not bad at all. Like I think 53 as a single person, you can take care of yourself. Like you can't buy a house, you can't like pay for childcare, but you can like pay your rent and like live with 53,000. But 22,000 and all that wear and tear on your body. And according to Forbes, the Dallas Cowboys are the most valuable team and they're worth an estimated $9 billion. And they're paying these women like literally nothing. So this woman is a full-time ortho. Insane.
Between patients, I'll try to run 1 or 2 routines. In school, I was on the Golden State Warriors.
Okay, I'm going to mute it and just like, no, I feel like you can't hear it. She said that between patients, she tries to practice routines and that when she was in college, she was on another team.
In school, I was on the Golden State Warriors.
Great performer. You're a great showman. Intonation is some of the others in terms of style of dance. Depth.
What?
We would. But I understand. It's not gonna. Yeah. It'd be as if I was asking you, can you straighten my teeth in a week? You know what I mean? It takes time.
Why? Why would they do that?
You're awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You deserve better, orthodontist queen. You deserve better.
I'm kind of obsessed with this girl.
Exactly. Don't be acting like that, ma'am. You didn't give a fuck. Not all of y'all even raised y'all's hand after she did her dance. That shit just pissed me off.
So yeah, I guess they cut this woman who's literally an orthodontist. Oh yeah, this is not Mark Cuban's problem. Mark Cuban owns the basketball one. So, like we said, full-time commitment, part-time pay. In the 5th episode of America's Sweetheart, one of the veterans details her daily schedule. She is a pediatric nurse from 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. A pediatric nurse. Girl, get up. These people do not respect you. And I know you're probably making good money as a nurse. And that's before she goes to nighttime cheerleading practice, which can run as late as midnight. While Wetterberg says she considers cheerleading a part-time job, both the time commitment demands expected of cheerleaders, both physical and emotional, are significant. They practice at least 20 hours weekly in addition to working game days and other appearances during the NFL season, plus training camp and the additional programming in the off-season with the possibility of the playoffs. In one episode, it's revealed that the squad would be working 21 days straight with no days off. That is absolutely insane. I don't know why the fuck they would air this and where their PR manager is, but they put it on TV for some reason.
It can be difficult working around the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders' schedule because we all have full-time jobs. When I'm not a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, I'm teaching dance. I work at the corporate headquarters of a hair care company.
Dallas Cowboys.
Why would they film that? Why would they film that? That looks terrible for them. And then this is another TikTok going from work to DCC practice. Just doing your little makeup routine at your desk. Here's another one. Get ready with me for practice on my lunch break. Demand rights. Demand rights for yourself, ma'am. The way the women are expected to be perfect and give everything for no pay is crazy. I couldn't do this to myself. I hate wearing makeup. So I thought about learning Thunderstruck to promote this stream, and I decided I physically cannot do that. I hate dancing or people looking at my body. I hate when people are like, dance, have fun, because I will dance if you demand it of me because I have decorum, but I don't like it. And people are like, see, you're good. And I'm like, I'm performing for you and I want to vomit right now. All right, you get the point. She's wearing makeup. Even though every site varies slightly on exactly how much they get paid, these girls should absolutely be paid more than they currently do if Kelly, Judy, and Charlotte want the squad to take their roles as seriously as they expect them to. It's crazy to me that people worth billions of dollars don't value the people that keep their brand afloat by paying them a livable wage and then crazy demands and crazy schedules you're paying them pennies to do, because obviously the money is there. So this is an employment lawyer talking about this.
So I'm watching America's Sweethearts, the new docuseries on Netflix about the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, and I'm obsessed with cheerleaders. I always wanted to be a cheerleader. You know, I never went to prom. I never was like one of the cool popular girls, and like the idea of being a popular cheerleader was like the pinnacle. But I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That was a dream as a child. Watching this documentary now, they're being gaslit and literally sold a dream and not being compensated for what they're doing. The documentary goes in to talk about how like they don't get paid a lot, and the woman like admits they don't get paid a lot, and she's like, but you know, they're doing it because they love dancing. They love the brand. That's like when the husband says being a mother is not a job, and that she's staying home with the kids because she wants to, rather than admitting that he actually wants no responsibility for raising them. Or my wife doesn't go out much because she doesn't like to, rather than my wife doesn't go out much because I control her and tell her she can't. You're getting gaslit, kids. Anyways, they make approximately $500 a game, which is like by far the top salary of all of the cheerleaders in the NFL, and or $15 to $20 an hour, which is the equivalent of minimum wage in California. Actually, as the laws have changed, this is actually less than minimum wage in California as of this year. Not to mention all the extensive money they have to spend on their appearance, their, physique, etc. I'm completely fascinated and will watch all of this. However, it is doing such a disservice to women.
It really is. Girl, get up off the floor. While football players cash in on sponsorships with companies like Nike, Dallas cheerleaders are not allowed to use their titles to secure sponsorship deals. Oh, they can't do social media. That's crazy. And they're not allowed to sign with social media influencer agencies. Let me peel back the curtain. If you do not have an agency as an influencer, it's almost impossible to get brand deals. And I'll tell you why. Most influencers are fucking terrible to work with. They don't answer their emails. They don't meet deadlines. They don't do anything. So a company is like, I want to work with another company. I don't want to have to fucking be like Instagram DMing with Miss Redacted. I don't want to fucking deal with that. Let me work with a company like a talent agency, and they will handle all the contracts and they will make the influencers send us stuff on time. So if you don't have an agency, brands are like, well, what's wrong with you that you don't have an agency? And then it's also more inconvenient for them. And like, I have an agency. It's like it's like a girl who does it part-time. It's like very small. But anyway, she's great. Love her. But anyway, like, if I get a brand deal, she negotiates the contracts, she reads all that stuff. I don't know how to do that. And then she also will text me and be like, send me your video. And then I send it to her. Like, that's why they just like to work through an agency. They even did away with that rule for college athletes recently, but cheerleaders can't market themselves. Even high school athletes can do sponsorships, but cheerleaders can't. Professional cheerleaders can't. So with limited opportunities to make money as a squad member, most of them work full-time jobs every weekday. Even the calendars they put out yearly with their faces plastered all over them, the cheerleaders don't get a dime off of those sales, and they don't even get a free one from themselves. So, like, their fucking mom has to buy the calendar. Jones responded to the frustration, saying that women don't audition for the money, but rather for sisterhood and a passion of dance in a field where there are not a lot of opportunities to perform at an elite level. Charlotte, that sounds like you have never had to use a fucking Coinstar machine. Like, your dad bought the Dallas Cowboys, so I'm just going to jump out on a limb here and assume that you've never had to, like, wear an ugly McDonald's polo and had, like, oil splashing on you, but people do things for money. And that does not make it less important. It makes it more important that you're giving them money, because then they'll take it more seriously. There's a lot of, I wonder if they're barred from doing social media after they leave. I don't think they could bar them after they leave, but they wouldn't be able to be like, as a Dallas Cowboy cheer, they couldn't do that, but they could just be like, as Miss Redacted, I support Bloom, whatever. I didn't want to say the actual words, but you know what I'm talking about. But I don't think they could do it like as the cheerleader in the uniform, if that makes sense. There's a lot of cynicism around pay for NFL cheerleaders, as there should be. They're not paid a lot, but the facts are that they don't actually come here for the money. They come here for something that's bigger than that to them. They have a passion for dance. There's not a lot of opportunities in the field of dance to perform at that elite level. It's about being part of something bigger than yourselves. It's a sisterhood, blah, 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 blah. Losers. So they are, after all, the most iconic cheerleading squad in the world, but they're also female performers in an organization built to celebrate male athletes and satisfy macho fans, which means their lives are nowhere as glamorous as they might seem. While cheerleaders are working for the same pay as a fast food employee, they're also subject to stalking, sexual harassment, and assault. In The Daughters of the Sexual Revolution, I think that's a documentary, cheerleaders from the 70s said that fans would call their home and send threatening letters. In 2016, the Cowboys settled with 4 cheerleaders for $2.4 million after they accused a senior team executive of taking photos of them in the locker room undressing. The cheerleaders say they continue to experience harassment. In the Netflix docuseries, a cheerleader files a police report saying that a game day photographer touched her inappropriately. Her fellow cheerleaders rally around her, hoping that her speaking up might give other victims of sexual assault and harassment the courage to do the same. The attention can turn terrifying. 9 to 5, Kelsey, a 5-year veteran and the team's most respected leader, recounts a time a stalker put an air tag on her car so he could track her movements. Later, a photographer gropes Sophie while she's on the field during the game. She reacts precisely as she's supposed to, reporting him to the authorities through tears. I would have bit his arm. Somehow, though, police rarely seem to find sufficient evidence to arrest the cheerleaders' assailants. 0% surprised. It's hard because we're itemized sometimes as an object instead of a human, and we almost start to believe that ourselves. You'd be crazy not to. This is a trailer from a documentary that came out in 2018, but was not an official release under the brand titled Daughters of the Sexual Revolution. So yeah, I guess they had trouble with naming things. I want to watch this one.
You once said women are a necessary nuisance. You said American women have to learn to accept a man's domination.
Her face. I want to take her to brunch.
Did I say that? Who is the boss of your family?
Absolutely my husband.
What is a husband? A husband is the guy who's in charge and should be all of the time.
What are you gonna do?
These are the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. Fans spend as much time watching them as they do the Cowboys.
They were the most sexed up cheerleaders anywhere.
We got a lot of criticism. There was too much boob showing.
The sexual revolution was in full swing.
Everybody's trying to get a piece of the cheerleaders.
Somebody is trying to make a buck.
Here comes Debbie Does Dallas.
Whoa.
Suzanne went after it with a vengeance.
She had death threats. Somebody was tasting her food for fear of her being poisoned.
And I had to have bodyguards because we were dealing with the mafia.
I think I was more afraid of upsetting Suzanne Mitchell. She was kind of scary at times.
A lot of women didn't like us back then.
They literally held up posters that read hearts and minds, not bumps and grinds.
Women do go after other women.
Suzanne taught us not just to be girls, but to be women.
My boyfriend said you're going to have to pick between being a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader or dating me. I said, well, gotta go. See ya.
They became why God had put.
I think she means the mafia, not in the literal sense, but like everyone was coming for them and they were scary.
Put me here.
The show group squad would go on the USO tours. They left their family for the whole holidays.
It was the right place, right time.
The cheerleaders were now something bigger than life.
It was going to be our way or the highway.
Oh, I love them so much. I just wish that they would pay them. It's really horrific. So issues with the uniforms. There's an issue with a uniform, which is a little more than a glorified swimsuit. Again, I think they look like bad bitches. And as long as they like it, I'm down. A TMZ article from 2015 says roughly 1,000 of the hottest chicks in Texas went down to Houston this weekend to try out for a spot on the Texans cheerleading squad. And TMZ Sports had pics from the Smokin' Hot audition, which focuses on the pictures of the tryouts. So, like, when the girls are in the uniform and they're dancing, I'm like, yes, you guys look so good. Bad bitches, I love it. But then when a man talks about the uniform, I'm like, that's not for you. That is not for you.
Should definitely audition.
So yeah, that's another reject based on figure. Here's more. I don't understand why they come in and not in the best possible shape they could be. Maybe they're going through something. Maybe they, I don't know, needed a meal. It breaks my heart to see this gorgeous woman who gained 3 to 6 pounds. I'm going to skip over some of these. We saw enough body shaming, but this moment, I said I didn't talk about race, but I am going to talk about the fact that the DCC had a blackface scandal in 2011. And when I was doing Googling, somehow this was not their only blackface scandal.
2 years ago, our entire organization got sucker punched over this incident. So Whitney goes to a private Halloween party. She dresses like Lil Wayne. That was on
the way, okay, language matters, and the fact that she said Whitney goes to a private Halloween party, she meant the word private for a reason. She meant Whitney's not in trouble because she did this. Whitney got in trouble because someone took a private moment and plastered it everywhere. Like, she's letting Whitney be the victim in this scenario when Whitney's not a victim. Any party is inherently not private. And even if you do blackface in the privacy of your own home, unless it's a charcoal mask, we should be able to talk shit about you.
Saturday night. Sunday at the game, I was getting phone calls and cameramen were photographing Whitney on the sidelines because Whitney's Halloween costume was considered controversial. I understand that you shouldn't put yourself in situations like that.
I understand you shouldn't put yourself in situations like that. Do you mean you shouldn't do blackface? Is that what you understand?
But I didn't know it at the time. We were on national news, and we had...
Is there a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader DEI course? Maybe now there is.
Local reporters...
The way they're talking about this tells you how their black cheerleaders are treated. That says it all right there.
All the way to the New York Times, to Bill O'Reilly on the O'Reilly Factor, having comments and surveys about whether or not Whitney and our organization were racist organizations.
It really was an eye-opener for all of us because we really are in the limelight right now.
The girls now
Okay,
have to be
Whitney.
more conscious of the places they go, the people they're with, and
The girls have to be more conscious of the places they go and the people they're with. She literally basically just said, hey guys, if you're going to do blackface, make sure you're being conscious of who's around you. Because you only do blackface in a safe space for blackface. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Why didn't they just fire her? You get fired for gaining 2 fucking pounds, but you don't get fired for blackface? Oh, we saw Whitney eating a cinnamon roll, so she's going to get fired. I thought Whitney was getting fired over the blackface. No. Wake up. Wake up. There's a lot of hand-wringing about how unforgiving the uniform is, like we've kind of talked about, but no one ever seems to be asking why it should be the women to change their bodies and not the other way around. And like, you know that saying, like, anyone, if you put a bikini on, you have a bikini body? I feel the same way here. I guarantee there's probably never been a pregnant DC cheerleader. They probably, once you get a pregnancy test, they're like, you got to put you outside. You're being put out to pasture. Apparently they're mean to each other. Let's see if the audio is good here. The music is way too loud. I'm going to skip it. Basically, they're just like, I was at practice for 4 hours. I was at practice for 5 hours. So openly promoting retouching in 2022 and the 2023 squad announcement. If you get pregnant, they launch you out of the AT&T Stadium from a cannon because we are a pro-life organization. That is why we launch our pregnant cheerleaders through the sky into the Lord's hands. On Tuesday, DCC social media accounts posted a video providing a glimpse into how that image is manufactured, showing a male photographer editing the teammates' bodies in their annual poster, promoting an unapologetic and ironically unfiltered use of Photoshop to digitally manipulate the photos of the women, regardless of whether or not the photo editor actually made them appear smaller, is a chilling marketing choice. To that end, it's one thing for the team to uphold an archaic and unattainable body standard, which is damaging on its own, but it's entirely another thing for the team who approved to post not only to say the quiet part out loud, but to use it in their marketing. Same thing with, like I was saying, where on the show, they were like, we all have jobs. Like, the public relations is not in the room. Low pay, long hours, increased vulnerability to sexual violence, the expectation that purpose and camaraderie should make up for being woefully undervalued. If you're familiar with occupational hazards of women's work, it's all starting to sound pretty familiar. A portrait emerges of NFL cheerleading as the ultimate pink-collar vocation with many of the same downsides as nursing or teaching. Not you calling out teaching. I'm getting paid. I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting paid. But anyway, more than many other teachers, but globally not great. So anyway, pink collar, if you don't know what that means, pink collar is like women-dominated professions, and pink collar is like a sociology kind of term for the women professions where women get treated bad and paid bad. So like nursing, childcare, cheerleading, it means like it's women-dominated and they're experiencing discrimination is kind of what people are referring to in pink collar. So these are comments on the recent DCC show. Owner of DCC, it's a privilege. We're also not going to pay them. And Dak Prescott's contract is $40 million. I think that's a player. Listening to Charlotte talk about how she doesn't pay the cheerleaders a living wage when she earns $1.5 million a year is one of the most dystopian, misogynistic, and gaslighty things I've ever heard. If your routines are causing serious health issues for your cheerleaders, then you need to change their routines. Women in their 20s should not need hip operations. Justifying paying those women poorly by gaslighting them and calling it a privilege while they literally tear their bodies apart for your brand is appalling. I love when billionaires get bullied. I see a lawsuit coming to blatantly display on camera the fact that their routines cause serious injury and then continue to use said routine. The girl with the hip and foot injury got Veteran of the Year. I'm sure you gave this to her so she wouldn't feel some resentment towards the DCC when she has lifelong foot pain. And why are you so against the change? Is it pressure from other team owners knowing that if you pay them well and treat them with dignity, other teams would have to follow suit and they don't like that? $100K per girl plus medical and stop the injury causing routines. Full stop. Can we start a petition? Yes, these women should be safe and have clean, safe routines guaranteed to stick. I'm hoping someone understands that reference. That being said, I think we can all agree the split on the Thunderstruck dance is really fucking cool. So I see both sides. No, I'm just kidding. A little bit. I do see both sides, but obviously protect the women. I see both sides, protect the women. Like, I see it and I'm protecting the women, you know? To be honest, I'm embarrassed that a woman who owns a football team wildly underpays these women. Pay your dancers. It's hard to watch your young Christian cheerleader be made that her job is to sit at a public gym having to sign sexy calendars of their bodies for old men and people's teenage sons. Yeah, people are really, really coming for them. I'm glad y'all know Stick It. I knew y'all would understand that reference. But here's some more hate from their comment section I'll skip through. So, as if the misogyny is not enough, the injuries aren't enough, the pay discrimination is not enough, they make them sing. They make them sing.
Now we're going to have the girls come out and sing, and because of the nature of a football game, we always have opportunities to sing the national anthem.
When are the cheerleaders singing the anthem? I think they almost always have a celebrity do it.
Oh, say, can you see? We need to find out this year if we have any vocalists on the team.
I think they're just doing this as like a cult humiliation tactic because they never sing.
That was bad.
I think this is the only year that we've ever had singers that they were all bad.
It's giving sorority hazing.
Come on, bring it home, baby. Sprinkle. Should I stop? Yes. Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Can I stop? Can they ask if there's a singer? Why do they all have to do this? So, the end. I never thought we would make it here. We went through many trials and tribulations tonight. Based on the most common comments seen on social media, the majority of people have voiced their opinion since the Netflix show. There's major work that needs to be done in DCC. In the future, hopefully this will create change, and their training camp is currently ongoing, and the team will be announced later in August, allegedly. So, I am very unreasonably excited about next week. Hopefully my voice is back because I need to be able to scream. But join me here next week for the Miss Vicky Gunvalson, the queen of Kodo retirement insurance planning, the queen of getting sued for elder abuse, the queen of cheating on her husband, the queen of dating a literal scammer, the queen of screaming, the queen of Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. This is Vicky Gunvalson. And if you have never heard of Vicky Gunvalson, it will be even better because you won't know any of this insane stuff. So, let's go ahead and do the frickin' game. Let me know if it's doing that weird thing where it's putting you guys on two. Let me pick a theme. Underwater, because a lot of these women, oh no, sports, obviously. So here is the code for you to join. Free to join. You don't need an account. You don't have to enter your email. It is going to ask you what your name is. If you don't want your name to come up on here, just like put something kitschy and fun. Go to join.nearpod.com. You can do it on your phone. It's going to be like, download the app. You don't have to. You can do it in your browser. Join.nearpod.com, and the code is D3 IV5. I'll give you a couple seconds. Let me know if it's doing that weird thing again. I'm judging by the fact that no one is on there. It probably is doing that weird thing again. I don't know. People are there. Cool. I'll put the code back up. I left student reactions and hand raising on, but nothing happened this time. The co-teacher link? The OG Jen Shaw. Yeah, I'll drop the link again. There you go. You can open it in a new tab, whatever's. And I really appreciate you guys sticking through my voice, my microphone, destroying the Britney Spears mug. Like, so much happened tonight, and you all made it through, and this was a really good stream, and I'm excited about it. I wish I could have done it, like, more justice. We really just, like, fought through the technology, but we made it, and we're here. And I needed this. This was so fun. I love having, like, grown-up time after being with children all day, because they never want to talk about this stuff with me. I did my little, like, about the teacher, and I was like, does anyone in here watch Bravo? And none of them raised their hands. Every day at work, I feel like I'm doing stand-up and just bombing. Like, every day, I'm joking and having the time of my life, and they don't get it. It takes them, like, 3 weeks to get me, and we're only on day 2. So they're, like, I'm joking, and they're like, you know, not the AT&T Stadium parking lot. No, like, I was joking around with them today, and they, like, didn't know I was joking. I was like, can you guys, like, can we, like, fast forward, like, 3 weeks where, like, you get it? Some of them get it. There was a girl in one of my classes. One of my classes is, like, very predominantly boy and very quiet. And she came up to me after class and basically was like, I get it. And I was like, you get it. You get it. Love my male students, for anyone watching. But what I will say as a teacher, like, can we get a single giggle? This is a rough crowd. I will say as a teacher, I don't like when a class is predominantly male, and I'll tell you why. There is a lot of data supporting the fact that when you separate the genders for education, girls do better and boys do worse. Boys thrive in gender diverse environments, particularly. So when a classroom is very heavily boy, I notice a difference in the vibe and the behavior. The main thing I notice, if a class is predominantly male, girls pull back and don't like to speak up very much. But when a class is predominantly female, I notice that does not happen with boys. They still will engage, but when it's like 20 boys and like 4 girls, I notice the girls like really retreat into themselves, which I don't like, but I understand why. So yeah, that's my thoughts about gender and education. Hopefully I don't get canceled. Anecdotally agree 1,000%. I'll give people a couple more seconds to join the group. Doop. But anyone else, let me put the link in the chat again. I have so many cough drop wrappers. I do feel a lot better than yesterday, though. And I know I said I had to whisper, but then I felt like the whisper was hurting, so I switched to a regular voice, and now it feels fine. That's kind of like how cishet marriage is great for men and terrible for women. That's funny. Okay, I haven't seen anybody join in a second, so I'm going to go ahead and hit start on our little game here. Who was the inspiration for the DCC? Still waiting on 3 of you. Missed the sports theme music. Oh yeah, this is the, I always forget the music is different. A stripper named Bubbles Cash. Ironically, she made more than any of the cheerleaders probably. Her name is Bubbles Cash. How did Charlotte Jones become the executive vice president and chief branding officer? I was really proud of my answer choices on this one. And I also, okay,
So since we talked about the mic again, I just want to have a moment of gratitude. Let me show you the mic arm so you can see what huge piece of metal went flying. And I'm just realizing did not break my all glass desktop computer. If it had gone that way instead of this way, it just would have shattered my computer completely. The fact that the only thing that broke is the Britney Spears mug that's now the Britney Spears pencil holder, lucky day for us. Let me show you the mic arm. And this is metal. And it was sitting here and just fell. Imagine if it went towards you guys. That would be so bad. We are going to get a Kathy Griffin stream soon. She's on my list. I'm rewatching her show before I do the stream. I love her reality show. It's on Peacock. Also, someone earlier said, how fun is it to say my assistant? I love it. I have to like hold back from saying it at work so people don't think I'm weird. And I can also say she's like really making my life so much easier and so much more productive, which is great for us. Oh, this is a hard question. It's 5. Ooh, I could do America's Next Top Model for sure. What dance are they most known for? Imagine if they had a dance to the national anthem. I would watch it. How are we all feeling about Tim Walz? He's my governor, so I'm biased. I have not looked into him a ton, but from what I read about all the potential people, I liked him from what I saw more than the other people, personally. They'd eat up Soulja Boy. It's true. They do have other jobs. What was the girl that sued? What was her annual earnings? This is a hard question, too. Ooh, a lot of y'all are wrong. Yikes. Maybe I was wrong. Did I mess up? Okay, good. Lots of you are right. $4,700. Oh, Demi Lovato, she's on my list. Not just in, Walz is great, not just in comparison, but as himself, he's great. What was the problem with Whitney's Lil Wayne costume? She knows not to put herself in those types of situations now, you guys. Don't worry. She learned from this. She didn't learn why blackface was wrong. She just learned not to put herself in those type of situations. Who are we learning about next week? He got Minnesota free school lunch, paid family medical leave. Yeah, I know a couple creators from Minnesota who really like him. It seems like he has a good record there. But anyway, congratulations to Saturn Cat, Pink Pony Clubber, DCC Union, AT&T Stadium parking lot, a Bubbles Cash parking lot, Vicky Gunvalson's Dimple, Thunderstruck Splits, Sam Lorock, Seagull, Dallas Cowboy, Caitlin, Texie, a DCC parking lot, Hot Boots, a Dallas Cowboy parking lot, Thunderstruck Dance, Dallas Cowboy Like Me Cheerleader, Double Hip Surgery, Jump Split Supremacy, Cowboy, and DCC Barbie. I will scroll through the rest. Nice job, nice job. Not a Walmart cheerleader. Any memes? Anything I missed? Any other lore? I did have a great time tonight, even though my mic exploded, even though I fell ill. Had a great time with you all. I'm even more excited for Vicky Gunvalson next week. I'll hang here for like a minute or two for anyone to post any memes, but your girl is tired and wants a snack. The Cowboys went dancers with any and every body type audition for the team, and I took that personally. Thanks for sticking it out with us this week. Quite the opposite. This was more important to me than anything else. I was like, I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to be ready for the stream. Like, I took a break from recording the podcast this week to protect my voice for the stream. That's where my headspace was at. A Bubbles Cash parking lot. I got second, knocked my sister off the podium. That's hilarious. All right, team. I will go ahead and end it there. Thank you so much for being here. I love you more than anything on the entire planet. We fought through so much to be together tonight, and I will see you next week for the victorious